everybody, happy Friday. Hope you're doing very, very well. And today, as I suggested at the end of last video, this is going to be an opening for a club that I've probably wanted to add to my collection since day one, I would suspect. And I think, to be honest, the shirt that I've been able to pick up here was a great price. I think I've been very, very well considering what it is. So let's just get it open. I think this one's going to be a shirt that a lot of you are familiar with. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased to add this one to my collection. I don't think I've seen it in person, so it'll be nice to see how it goes. So what we have is, we got that one, Paolo Di Canio. I don't know if I've ever seen a Paolo Di Canio one before. Okay, don't need that one. Nothing else in there. We have the shirt. There it is. Does that sort of familiarise with anybody? If I do that, interesting maybe. I reckon some of you will maybe even already own this shirt, to be honest. Let's get it open and see how it looks in person. Okay then, so we have the tags inside. Let's start with the rear of the shirt. So it has a sort of a black base, I would suspect, where you can put the name set, and then on the back we have a little moniker for the person who was the inspiration behind the shirt. We have the red pattern, and we have some yellow trims as well, where the Adidas stripes run. So it's kind of a little bit simple on the back, but let's see what happens when we bring it round to the front. And there it is. We've got a much more of a striking graphic, it seems, running across the front. We have the Adidas logo, of course. We have the sponsor, and then we have the club crest going on there, which is rather interesting. Specifically with regards to that particular crest. I'll explain to you why, because I wasn't anticipating that one. So if we look at the sleeves, we have a little sponsor there, and then also we have MLS patching on the sleeve, so that gives you an idea of where we are coming from. So the size should be medium, yes indeed, and then it has all of the tags. So I will dress the mannequin, and I will come back to you with regards to the shirt. So there is the shirt. It's looking very striking. Now, who is the team? The crest may have kind of thrown you a little bit, because it is Seattle Sounders, and it's their away shirt from 2024, so last year. And this one, of course, I purchased from Classic Football Shirts for £44.99 after discount. So the club was founded in 1974. As the crest suggests there, though that's a different version of the club. They just decided when they were going to reboot it to continue with the name. And that's reflected in the new crest. So this is a new crest that was released in 2024. And this is where I got a little bit confused, because I thought the version I was buying had the older crest on, but Classic Football Shirts seemingly have stock of both of them. And I just forgot that I went and bought this one. Not for any particular reason. Looking at both crests, I don't think any of them are particularly bad. I don't think any of them are particularly amazing. They are what they are. Just bearing in mind that the older shirts, so obviously MLS shirts, they wear, teams wear shirts for 2 seasons. 1 season, 2 season. So 1 season they'll have had the older crest, and then this season they'll have the newer crest. So you'd have to decide what you want personally. Though I think this version, they have, at least time of recording, all sizes available, whereas the previous one has only a few. So maybe that was the reason why I picked this one. So that's just a small little detail. They have changed their crests. So as mentioned, they do play MLS, and the season is nicely underway, with the club sitting in 6th place in the Western Conference, because of course they do separate the league into 2 halves, because America is a very big place. Last season, in the regular season, they finished in 4th place, which given them an opportunity to progress to the playoffs, which they lost in the conference final to LA Galaxy. So, pretty decent seasons, I think they would say. They do have some domestic honours with MLS Cups and Supporters Shields. However, I would argue that fans would probably say that their biggest achievement is winning the CONCACAF Champions League in 2022, becoming the first MLS team winning it in its modern current format, when they beat Pumas in the final over 2 legs, which of course would have been the reason why they were then qualified for the Club World Cup. Now, this shirt, of course, is manufactured by Adidas because it's an MLS team. They have the contract for the entirety of the league. And I don't know if anybody would necessarily notice this, but this is the authentic player spec version of the shirt, which, to be honest, Adidas do some really good stuff, certainly with the MLS teams with regards to that. What I really like is the fact that the patches are on the sleeves, because a lot of the times when you buy the authentic version in the UK, and that can be this, even just buying from classic football shirts, they don't seem to have the patches. They'll have the the design features and the material, but they won't have those. And whilst it's not the end of the world if they're not there, it's nice to have all of the features, including those particular patches. If I remember correctly, this was available to buy on the Adidas store, and people were making the purchase. And for whatever reason, it didn't come with a front sponsor, which it was advertised with. So I remember that happening. So if for whatever reason you saw that and was put off, this is a chance to pick up the full shebang. The shirt was released, and usually Adidas MLS teams, they try and market it something. And this one was known as the Bruce Lee shirt. I don't know if you would pick it out, but you have this dragon graphic which runs across the front. At the bottom there is a little signature of Bruce Lee, and on the back of the neck there was a little motif which was Bruce Lee's martial arts philosophy, Jeet Kune Do. I think Bruce Lee lived in Seattle, and it would have been 50 years after his passing that this shirt was originally released. So I think it's a pretty cool approach. I like it. It's good colour, good design. I think this one again did quite well on social media. When it comes to Seattle Sounders, the main reason why I was interested in them was because of their home and away shirts, but their home lime green shirts, when they were, of course, sponsored by Microsoft, and they had Xbox on the front. As a young guy growing up playing video games, whilst not necessarily being much of a Xbox player, I thought it was quite cool to see that. And I think, Paul Allen was one of the co-founders of Microsoft, and of course owners of Seattle Sounders. They've since moved across to different sponsors, which have had varying sort of response by the fans. Right now, you can of course see the club playing in the Club World Cup, qualifying because of that Champions League victory. I was actually going to do a shirt, sort of like a video showcasing all the shirts for the teams that are in the competition, but I'll just post you a little screenshot of the teams I have. I have quite a lot of them, obviously the European ones. I'm lacking a little bit on the Asian and African teams, partly because most of those I've never ever seen appear for sale in the UK, and I'd have to buy directly, and again, I don't know how easy that would be. So yeah, I think the biggest team I need to get is Boca Juniors. There's no excuse not to own one of those. Inter Miami, obviously, but I think because it's so hyped, it kind of pushes it away a little bit for me, even though I do like their pink shirts, because obviously it's a pink shirt. But I think that, we've got a good amount for that particular list. So there we go. It's another authentic one to add to my slightly ever-growing MLS shirt collection. I would like to have so many more, but they're so expensive. I mean, on the tags, it's like $150 just for that particular shirt, and that's before you would have imported it in and paid customs if you had to do that. And even if you're still buying them in the UK, over £100 for the authentic, they're not cheap shirts, so I can understand why people might be put off regarding that. But there we go. I'm pleased to own this one, and yeah, there's some options on classic football shirts if you are interested in picking up one yourself. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching my videos as always. I'm not sure what I'll do Tuesday. Maybe some more shirt reviews. Maybe I'll just open some stuff. We'll see how I feel. So hope you have a great weekend ahead, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.